I'm here at the spot that may be the most devastating the entire Moore, Oklahoma tornado situation. Behind me is where Plaza Towers Elementary used to stand. 7 children inside were killed during those storms. The memorial now set up all along a fencing, blocking everyone out of where that elementary school once was. The folks from Savannah Christian took a special trip over here. They wanted to see it for themselves, and it certainly brought out a lot of emotion, sadness, and hope.
I see this sign, and there's so many signs in front of so many different schools, you know, that mean great times, man, for elementary kids, you know, and this is supposed to be a safe place. It's supposed to be a safe haven for kids, and this one wasn't on that day, and it just, it's just very sad.
I can only imagine driving up here and seeing what devastation they've seen, you know, and just wondering where those children were. You know, just it's hard to conceive of what that must have been like.
That hope is simply to get some sort of closure for these families, some sort of healing, if that's even possible. They got a chance to play as kids last night in a local arcade in a special moment. Unfortunately, they had to come back to reality and realize that the cleanup really and the healing has just begun. In Moore, Oklahoma, Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3. Where I'm standing now is where Gary Mulison's home used to be. Now there's not even a slab, it's just a whole bunch of dirt. In fact, he had 7 buildings on his property, along with 10 donkeys and a horse. It was quite an event for Gary. He rode the entire thing out inside his storm shelter.
And my wife was screaming at me, "Shut the door, close the door." So I closed down the cellar door, and 2 or 3 minutes it was here. And with all the debris that was hitting the cellar and the noise, I knew it was bad. To me, there was no roar to it, but the ground shook, and it sounded like an old steam engine train when they start up, how the ground will shake and just a rumble, and that's what it was to me. When I come out, I stood there and looked around. My house was gone, vehicles gone, 6 outbuildings was gone. It was just bare. And I thought, all that I own is what is on my back. We're all right. There's people in worse shape than we are. Yeah, a lot of people don't have a place to go. We've got a place to go.
3 of Gary's trucks, along with most of his farm equipment, are now about 500 yards behind me, inside and under the water of a local pond. But he says it's just stuff. It doesn't matter. He and his wife made it out safe, and you know what? He feels lucky. In Moore, Oklahoma, Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3. Behind me is Moore Hospital, or what's left of Moore Hospital. It was a direct hit in the middle of this storm, part of a damaged field that stretched a mile wide and nearly 20 miles long. Folks here have been through the recovery stage. They've been through a lot of the mourning stage as well. Now it's about cleanup and rebuilding. That's why it's so important for the folks from Savannah Christian to be here, because today is 3 weeks after the storm. A lot of those agencies have left, and while folks here are helping one another, to get some outside help, a fresh view and a fresh set of hands has meant the world to them.
I just keep thinking about what was going through these people's minds when
all these maps have different zones.
They're hearing this tornado and thinking about their families and if they're okay.
5,
and
we have another team on this side.
I just feel really honored to be here and to be serving them. You know, we talk to people that don't have anything left, and
but anyway, okay.
They're thankful for their life because that's all they have, and it just makes you look at the big picture. It changes everything.
Tonight at 6, I'll take you over to Plaza Towers Elementary for a first look from the Savannah Christian folks at the elementary school where 7 kids died and get their reaction to this tragedy. In Moore, Oklahoma, Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3. I'm Andrew Davis here in Moore, Oklahoma. Behind me, one of the dozens, hundreds, thousands of piles of debris left behind from the devastating tornado now 3 weeks ago as of tomorrow. I'm here with 25 folks from Savannah Christian. Their church there wanted to help out, wanted to do something, wanted to minister to these people, as well as just doing their part to clean up. They've been hauling trash, tin, anything they can, along with taking responses and meeting the people, trying to do something for them, just with a smile, with a hug, a prayer. Hey, tell me what this all means to you, that these folks are out here helping you out.
I just don't have words to express it. But my heart is so filled right now with love and hope.
Do you think of where you'd be without them right now?
Nowhere. We just couldn't do it. We just couldn't do it.
We found books. I found old cassette tapes and VHS tapes. We just about, it's just parts of people's lives. Things that they took for granted were part of their lives. We found Christmas tree ornaments. You think a lot of times those mean something to somebody.
For the folks from Savannah Christian, the stories just keep on coming. Like the house behind me. There was a disabled man inside when the tornado hit. He's actually got a storm shelter, but couldn't make it out in time. Instead, he rode it out downstairs in his bathroom. It's people like that that they say they've met already and why they're here to begin with. In Moore, Oklahoma, Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3. The damage here in Moore will last for months, if not longer, and the cleanup continues. And the folks from Savannah Christian have done their part, picking up debris from yards, trash, doing whatever they can to make a difference on the ground. But it may be what they've done in the hearts of these folks that have made the biggest impact. From the hugs and tears and prayers, they've certainly made a difference for the people here.
They tell us the stories, and our hearts are just touched, and but they're not sorry about it. I mean, they just are ready to pick up themselves by the bootstraps and just carry on.
Sadness and also a great deal of joy. The people I've talked to are very, very resilient. They've come together. There's good that came out of it. It brought neighborhoods together. It brought people together. They've recovered very, very well. I'm quite proud of all of them.
There's joy in their eyes, and I don't know, if I had to tell them something, it would just be, I don't even know, because they've taught me so much more, and I don't even know what to say to them because they've said so much to me, like not even with words, but just with the way they're handling everything.
When I get home, I think it's just going to be wonderful to process all this, and I hope it's just going to make a better person of me.
Volunteers say they won't remember the damage so much as the people. That more strong feeling that they always talk about, they definitely feel that and hope they've made a slight difference in their life in just 1 week. In Moore, Oklahoma, Andrew Davis, WSAV News 3. The remains of homes like this are now just part of the landscape in Moore, at least for now. But despite the devastation and destruction seemingly everywhere, folks here say they aren't going to let it get them down. And the volunteers are noticing that spirit, and it's giving them even more resolve to help.
You're going to help your neighbor, whether your neighbor is here or somewhere else. My gosh, if you see something that's wrong, you want to try to make it right, however you can. And our opportunity is with these people, they have everything we need. We just show up and they show out.
They tell us the stories, and our hearts are just touched, and but they're not sorry about it. I mean, they just are ready to pick up themselves by the bootstraps and just carry on.
We've been able to do a little bit of everything. You can get people started, you can help them complete, or you can see the joy when they see the finished product and that it's going to get better.